Can you take me higher to a place where blind men see? Listen, every day the urge to not do stand-up anymore gets stronger, and the urge just to build a time machine to go back in time to be Creed. With arms wide open. They sang that song too, right? Dude, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast, okay? I'm wearing my gay bowler shirt, okay? But when you're in Austin, it's just a regular bowling shirt, okay? I've come to find out and come to terms with the fact that I have entered a different stage in my life of clothes, okay? Here's a little inside baseball for y'all, okay? It is not easy to just live in athleisure as a comedian. Okay, there is some level of having to wear clothes, not just be in shorts. Like there's unspoken rules in stand-up, and yes, rules are made to be broken with not wearing bullshit on stage. You want to kind of dress a little bit, you know. I think there's a point in every comedian's career, and I'm just at the crossroads. Boom, 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 boom. I'm at the that was a Bone Thugs and Harmony reference. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Some of my references are going to start getting too old. Okay, but that's just life. But I'm at a crossroads as a comedian of where you're like, I got to figure out something with la ropa. Okay, with the clothes that I'm wearing, and I've realized I found a couple pair of pants that fit me well, nice and snug, comfortable. I can move in them. I could front kick the shit out of someone if they rush the stage in them. Okay. And I like a nice button down shirt. Okay. We're getting close to those summer months. So we don't want to be getting too crazy with the long sleeves. Okay. We have winter on deck, but your boy's been lacking in the short sleeve button up department. So I've been just venturing out with new button ups. Okay. And we've done a few minutes on this button up. So let's move on. Okay. But I am at the crossroads. Okay. It was worth mentioning to you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what, real quick before we get into that, it is funny watching the development and the decision that comedians make on what they're going to wear on stage. Like you can see it clearly. There's some who like take an approach of they almost want to be the wacky person, you know? They want to almost be like, hey, this is, some people dress up. They wear like a business suit and shit where they're that person. A lot of older comics, you'll see them with the tie on. Okay. There was like the wacky, like 80s comedy where they would dress up, but it was wacky. Okay. There is the cool guy. There's pretty much every vein of, type of comedy. There's people who just rolled out of bed and they're up there. That's what the beauty is of comedy, is that you can get every vein of it out there, just rocking it in the free world. Okay. Enough of that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Okay. Your boy has been out here living. Okay. You know what? Something that I've been struggling with and not knowing how to handle this question, because I've always done this in my life, where when people go, hey man, how are you? How's your weekend? Something like that. Who, unless it's like I went to Disneyland, who is giving a real answer? Okay. Whenever you ask, hey, how's it going, man? I feel like the only answer you really give is good. How are you? Like it's a pleasantry, right? And then you stand there but you start feeling like you're not opening up to people. Okay. Like you're not giving them anything to work with, because you're just like, yeah, I'm good. Thank you. How are you? Like it's like they wanted you to catch the ball, but instead of catching it, you're volleyballing it right back to them. You're going, I don't really want to do that. Okay. But then there's a whole conundrum of like, the person is just looking for the pleasantry. And if you really are like, let me tell you about my day. Okay. Because those people are out there too. The people who just unload on you. And you know what? Good. I think if you've earned it as a friend, you're more than welcome to open up. But sometimes you run into people who they unload, and you're like, I just met you. I don't even know your name. And you're telling me some of the deepest, darkest secrets of your life. But they're not even secrets, because I'm watching you tell it to 3 other people right after you finish verbally vomiting on me. Okay. Has happened more times than I'd like to admit in my life. Okay. When someone just verbally throws up on me. Okay. Some people are just way too open. Some people too closed up. Some people way too open. But that's life, baby. This is the first episode since we've started renovating the studio. This is not the final form of what you will be seeing here. Okay. We have some, the sound and acoustics are changing in here. Okay. We got some wood floors in here now, that I put in myself. I'll be honest with y'all. My padre that came out helped me with it as well. I grew up doing construction. Let's dive into it. It's one of those things where you hate every second of it doing it as a wee lad. Okay. I started construction before I could walk. I was involved in construction. Okay. There's pictures of me, and video as a baby. Okay. In the house that I grew up with. I didn't grow up with the house. It grew up and it just stayed the same age while I kept growing inside of it. Not in a creepy, weird way. Okay. But, the house that I grew up in, it being built, my dad built that house. Okay. Pictures of me just crawling around, just exposed wire and nails, just army crawling across this thing, basically barbed wire. So I've been around construction since I was a wee little thing. Okay. I was born in the darkness. You merely accepted it or whatever, adopted it. Anyway, it's one of those things. I did not enjoy it at those times. Sometimes it was okay. It was good money under the table. Unless you're the IRS, I paid every tax I ever was supposed to pay. Okay. Dude, just like Wesley Snipes, I don't believe in taxes. Okay. I do pay them, but I don't fucking believe in them. Okay. Did not believe in them. Where my tax dollars going. But growing up doing construction is not for me. Okay. It's very hard work. But here's the thing. Once you're an adult and you have a house, you appreciate the knowledge that you have and the ability to do certain projects and just feel like, oh yeah, I can figure this out. You know, like we changed the wallpaper in here. I've hung fixtures, doing some bigger projects in the backyard. I got to be real with y'all. Taking on the idea of changing all the bedrooms and everything out into wood floors. As you can hear, there's probably an echo in here right now still. Not fun. Okay. And once you start, you got to finish it. Once you rip out the first thing of carpet, you're like, well, now I have to do the entire house. All right. And I realized quickly, I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this with my life. Okay. And when you do hard labor, it makes you appreciate not having to do hard labor. Okay. I think I'm lucky, very lucky. I was born in America. It doesn't get much more lucky than that. Unless you're born in Dubai and you're one of those little kids running around in the bathrobes and a little silly hat and you're just a prince, dude, that might be the only other place you want to be born besides America. Okay. If you enjoy the lifestyles that I enjoy, okay, which probably is available everywhere, like fishing. I don't do much. I don't need much to be happy. I just need the illusion of freedom because I feel like that's what it is, just being American. It's almost like an illusion that we have freedom. Let's not get into that. We're too early into the podcast to go that dark. Growing up doing construction made me appreciate not doing construction. It gave me an early vision of, I don't want to do this my whole life. I need to find something I actually enjoy doing. Because I think if you have a slow progression of boring jobs, by the time you hit adulthood, you almost are hypnotized, and like it's like boiling crabs. You just put them in the water and you slowly turn the heat on, and by the time they hit that point, they're already cooked. Okay, when they realize this shit's boiling, you donezo. Okay, and that's what it feels like for some people with careers. I went to Kohl's earlier. That's where I got this silly shirt. I went to Kohl's earlier. The employee that took my Amazon return couldn't have seemed more dead. This girl seemed like the stereotypical, like almost too on the nose if you casted her in a movie as an employee that hated and didn't care about her job. Zero customer service, literally looked at us like she was upset that we interrupted her nap. Okay, the way she was leaning on the counter, it was wild. And I just like stood there and I'm like, it's crazy that this is what is available. Like this sucks. But it's not such a hard job to where you want to get out of it. It's boring, but yeah, you can scroll on your phone and you can do whatever, but it's not hard. Okay. Doing construction was very hard. And I think that, well, for one, it taught me how to suffer, which I don't know is a good skill set. Okay. I've realized it's good to know how to suffer, but you shouldn't have pride in it. Okay. Because that idea of suffering and being a man and suffering almost turns into a badge of honor, which I don't think is good for mental health, if I'm being real with y'all. Okay. I'm someone who I for some reason took pride and a badge of honor in suffering throughout my life. When I was younger and everything, going through hard times, be like, what? No, I don't need therapy, and just like these ideas that you have and you're like, no, you're a man. You just pack it down tight. Okay. You pack that in there with a shovel. You just go pack it down, put concrete over it, pave it out, and you just keep it moving, pimping. And then what happens? Oh, wow. I'm weirdly having panic attacks and all this weird anxiety and stress out of nowhere. What could this be? Oh, do I have to get a sledgehammer and break open this concrete? Okay. Do I have to get on this jackhammer and try to bust this all open to get to these skeletons that I buried away earlier in my life? All I'm saying, crying is sexy in 2023 now. Okay. It's important to let it out. All right. Which I think is good. I think that's just the natural progression, because I think there are older generations that went to the grave with trauma and things that they just buttoned down deep inside in dreams and everything, that they just beat their wives. Okay. I think honestly, how much domestic abuse probably has happened in the past where the dude just didn't want to work in a coal factory, but didn't know how to express his emotions. So dinner was a little bit late or a little bit overburnt. And then he just took it on his wife. He's like, this is the only steam I can let off. Okay. You can judge me for saying it, but it's had to have happened. Okay. Did they used to call tank tops wife beaters because they literally beat their wives in them? Like it was because guys were usually winding down in the evening wearing those tank tops. So they were just like, that's a wife beater right there. Or would they take it off, like their regular shirt off, like some kind of shirt like this, and they're wearing a wife beater underneath because they don't want any kind of resistance from the arms. Sometimes it can hold you back a little bit. And if you're trying to make a point, you really want to be able to have the motion. You don't want to be tied down by anything like that. Not that I am approving of that in any way. Okay. I'm going after my dreams. Okay. So I have no need, right now. Still haven't got, I'm living the dream, but if I ever have to divulge, then we could probably have that conversation. Okay. You just see me jump into a podcast just wearing a tank top. I'm like, so big news, guys. You just hear a police siren coming in the distance. Going to be the last episode for a while. I love you guys. Anyway, I don't know how we got into that. This has been a weird episode, ladies and gentlemen. I know that. You know that. Listen, I love you guys. All right. I just saw Guardians of the Galaxy, the new one. I don't want to spoil it for you. Okay. Phenomenal movie. Okay. That's all I'll say. And did your boy cry? Probably 4 times in the theater. Couple thug tears squeezed out. Never a trickle down my cheek. Eyes got moist. Okay. Just a little bit of a glitter in my eye. Great movie. Anything that has to do with animals being hurt or sad breaks my goddamn heart. Okay. It just really gets you. And if you know Guardians of the Galaxy, Rocket, it's just so emotional. That episode, that movie, I should say. That's all. I really don't want to spoil it because it just came out for you guys. And for me too, but I went and saw it first week like a savage. Yeah. Things are good over here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I've been toying with the idea of switching out the way I'm doing content and the kind of content that I'm doing. The podcast isn't in jeopardy. Okay. I just invested in more podcast equipment recently, like another chair, another microphone, this goddamn background. But I can film tons of content in here. I'm going to be changing the way I do content and I'm going to start executing on it. Podcasts might go down to just doing guest episodes. I'm toying with that idea. Okay. If anybody is so against just the solo episodes, we can talk. Okay. I don't mind doing the solo episodes. I love them. I love talking directly to you rather than having you be a fly on the wall during a guest episode. But I also want to put out more content that is more than just podcasting. I have this idea for a food show or a food segment where I go to some of these authentic places based on people's culture, their history, and go experience their food and have a conversation with them in that environment, in that setting. Edit it up, and make it more digestible. No pun intended because it's a food show. I also want to do more fishing stuff. Your boy has been loving fishing. Okay. It's put life in perspective of enjoyment. I think it's so important, to be living life and not just be doing stand-up. You can see comedians who just do stand-up. Their jokes are always a certain way. And it's great. There's a vein for that, but it's not the kind of comedy I want to do and not really the kind of comedy that I enjoy. I want to hear about life experiences. I like observational humor and strictly, you're digesting current events and these cultural things and spitting it out. But I love vicarious experiences in comedy and what you went through and kind of stuff, or your experiences in living. And I think also living life, you get richer experiences and perspectives rather than just sitting in a room, reading news articles and writing on that. And I want to start doing more, outdoor content and doing stuff like that. Only reason I bring it up is because I have some diehard podcast listeners. I love you guys. I do. When I say I love you guys at the end of it, I do, because I think it's crazy that you will listen to every episode. It's so dope to me. And that's why I take creating content serious, because I'm not going to just half-ass this or phone it in as I'm holding a phone. Hey, comedy. Stupid. I don't deserve anything from that. Don't even chuckle. Don't even give me a, okay. Yeah. And if I'm being real with you, I feel like the medium of podcasting is changing pretty quick. I don't know. I'd actually love to hear podcast listeners' perspective on consuming content, because I think for a long time podcasts were it. But I feel like there's a shift happening where it's not, there is a time and a place for podcasts, but me, myself, as a fan of podcasts, I've started to really change the way I consume content. And maybe that's my own bias. Like maybe podcasts are the greatest thing to do. But I just feel like there's a shift in the way we're digesting content and how we want to connect, it's interesting. Interesting to think about with just entertainment in general. Like there's people on YouTube who are just unboxing toys and they have millions of views and followers and they're just unboxing toys. There's obviously something to say about vicarious experiences. I don't even know if I'm using that word correctly. I was trying to think of a funny pun, but I got nothing. Okay. Yeah, it is crazy. I've also, and this, honestly, this idea of changing the way I'm doing things could be also with my departure from social media in the sense of like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all these things. Like I haven't even checked messages on Facebook. I went on and I like had a bunch of stuff I wasn't even looking at. But not being on my phone and scrolling on Instagram or Facebook or dude, TikTok is dangerous because they'll start giving you really good shit. Here's also the other thing that I started having to catch myself with: YouTube Shorts. Okay. YouTube Shorts does a great job of whatever you're into. It'll start pushing that on you, baby. And I had to be careful with that because I was like, now I'm starting to fuel this social media craving with YouTube just because it's like a different kind of media. It's not necessarily a social media. Okay. It's just like, you know how the internet works. If you're listening to this or watching it in the cool new podcast setup. Okay. We're going to be hanging more stuff on the wall. It's going to be a whole vibe in here. Okay. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on, stupid, and talk to you guys straight and tell you that I'm thinking about making some changes. I might change the way these episodes come out. Maybe I was a prophet in the beginning of calling it 7 minutes in Evan and we just do 7-minute segments. That could be something we could do where we kind of go on topics rather than full episodes. Break it down, maybe that's what we do. But yeah, I love you guys. I hope your guys' week is going great. I'm doing swell as hell. At the time you're listening to this, I'm probably in Oklahoma, doing a job, video production. And, I had great shows tonight. Today's Monday right now. And I was at the mothership earlier trying to get on the mothership showcase. It's wild. It's wild to even try to get on that. I think I'm at 8 weeks in a row. However many weeks it's been open, I've gone every Sunday and Monday to try to sign up. But there's just so many comics and so many conspiracies and hierarchy and blue bloods and just elites shit happening. But other than that, listen, I've had amazing shows, such fun shows. I had a great show last night at Roscoe's Comedy Club in Austin, Texas. East Austin. Okay. Great club. That's what's been great about Austin is all these different clubs booming up right now. And last night at Roscoe's Comedy Club, small crowd, but they were like Spartans. Okay. Where it's like each person was as good as 6 other people at another show. 100% of the audience was on board for jokes. We got into Rift City with them where we were just talking and laughing. Like there was parts in the set I was dying laughing, saying the things, and they were dying laughing. Like it was just so much fun. We had synergy. And then I said something hacky that I hate when comedians do was I like you guys. You guys are fun. And I was like, Evan, why'd you say that shit? I hate when I hear comedians say, I don't know why I hate it, but I hate it just like when you're saying, oh, you guys are fun. There's like little things that comedians do because they've seen it done in comedy. So they just kind of repeat it. Like when a comedian doesn't know what joke is next, they go, what else? What else do I have for you guys? I hate that what else shit. Yeah, everything is great. Going to be filming some fishing content very soon. It's going to be coming out. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. And if you don't, well, I can go fuck myself. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening. I would love your opinion on different forms of content. If you have an opinion on podcasts versus just putting out different kind of content on YouTube, more behind the scenes stuff. There's not much behind the scene. Okay. But it would be more experiences rather than just podcasts and talking. Okay. Because who do I think I am? Gandalf, just sitting here telling you about these experiences. I get it. It's cool in your ear, but maybe it would be cool to see it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this episode. I love you guys very much. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend, tell your mama. All right. And remember, no matter what, I still love you.